Kia ora koutou. So, as you may have seen on my Twitter earlier today, I decided I want to make a video series going over, Te Reo Māori again, especially since, as of recent, I've seen some of my older videos where I sound a lot different and also I explain it a lot less better than I could have right now. To be fair, my English has probably gotten worse since then, but hey, at least my Māori's gotten better, so maybe I can understand it and explain it a little bit better. And I also thought I wanted to go into a bit more detail in this series over like each individual aspect I want to explain. So today we're going to start with the particle ki and explain all the different uses that you can get out of it. I wouldn't say this is a comprehensive list of every single use, but this is like all the uses I could think of by looking at the aka, because I learned a couple new ones today, I can't lie. But yeah, let's get into this. Our primary usage that we're most familiar with for most people learning Māori would be for indicating direction or being a directional particle or location particle. So, for example, ka reo ki te toa, I will go to the store. I decided to highlight them in red so you can tell because I feel like the closest particle in English would be to. That would be the closest comparison to the use of ki. But I mean, there are some instances where it doesn't line up exactly. And then for another example here, ia ka whiti mātou I te taha matau ki te maha taha maui. Maui. Oh my god. We, excluding listener, because mātou instead of tātou, cross from the right side, te taha matau, or I te taha matau for from the right side, ki, ki te taha maui, to the left side. Another usage can be saying in or at, and for this usage, it can be used to indicate a sense of future presence in that location or a sense of motion towards a location. For example, ka tū te huinga o Matariki o roa mano rua te kaumaono ki tāmaki makaurau. The gathering of Matariki of 2026 will be held in Tāmaki Makaurau, also known as Auckland. But another way you can see it used is in, for example, a few names, like Mairohe is Ngapuhi ki Hauauru, Ngapuhi of or to or in the west. Next up here we have it to, I guess, kind of not quote per se, but to say, obviously, according to. So, kia ia he pākarukaru te motokaa. According to him, the car's busted. Or kia hau he ātanga mutunga tō kākahu. To me, your cloak is the most beautiful ever. Obviously, this one does show up in a fair few phrases, like kitaku mohio, like I think, or according to what I think, you could think of it as. It's fairly common to use. Then this is one of the newer ones I learnt today, using it with hei to show relationships. So, hei karanga matua ia kia hau. He is an uncle to me. Or another example, hei teina tēnā koro kia ia. That little young kid. Oh my god. Well then, very ironic that I was just doing a sentence about younger siblings and my younger sibling just interrupted me. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying, hei teina tēnā koro kia ia. That little kid is a younger brother of them or to them. Now then, this is another one I learned more recently, using ki or kite, because with a few of these, you'll see both ki and kite separately listed as particles, but they both mean the same thing in a few instances. But it's just because you do see ki and kite, they kind of blend together, because there'll be a lot of sentences where you could say, ki, but then like te will be the next word anyways, so it means the same thing and it looks the same, so it kind of just, hard to distinguish. It doesn't really matter. For our first example here, tātā kina te porara kau ki te toki, hei hanga wahie mō te ahi. Cut the wood blocks with ki, or kite, that adds or acts to make firewood for the fire. Another example here, hauheke ngā rau toro ki wōringa. Harvest the taro leaves with your hands. Again, ki, with. This is an instance where ki would be on its own, but obviously here, kite, I could even highlight it, kite, because, oh shit, they are considered a singular particle in the separate listings on places like te aka. But you will still see ki also listed as being used to say with, like in that instance. For our next use, we have using like an object marker with experienced verbs. Now in Māori, sometimes we use ki to, I I guess you could say use like an object marker, but in this instance, we use them with experience verbs for grammar reasons, I guess. But they do also kind of, I guess, have a feeling of doing towards something, like Tichiro kite manura, look at or to the bird over there. But then here, this one would be kind of, I guess, different if you don't think of ki in this sense. So, Hakarongo kite ngengere o ngā kuri, listen to the growl of the dogs. But obviously, there would be a common mistake of saying hakarongo I instead of hakarongo ki, because a lot of people would think, oh, hakarongo, use I because, like you're listening to, or you're doing listening towards the growling, but we would use ki because it's just how it is in Māori. So yeah, if you're saying hakarongo or tichiro or kite, I'll have to double check on kite, but I'm pretty sure those should be using ki as their object marker instead of I. What reason? I have no fucking clue. And then our last usage here is using it to mean if. And I actually use this a lot to say if. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but yeah. I know there's like obviously tons of others like ite, mehemea, memea, mena, a lot of stuff like that. But anyways, we can use, again, this is another one where ki and kite kind of merge together because, I mean, te shows up a lot after ki anyways. So you won't really be able to tell the difference and it won't matter. Kite mateo ka mate ururua. If I'm to die, tis as a shark. Kite kore koe, ka hore o wetaia. If you are gone, or if without you, basically. Oh shit, not again. I can't do it. Hore ka o wetaia. Te typing, yeah. But anyways, yeah. So that would be about all our usages of ki as a particle. If there's anything I missed out, feel free to put it in the comment section below, and I'll happily make another video explaining whatever the fuck I forgot. I don't know what particle I'll do next, but hey, if you want to see a specific particle next, put it in the comments, and I will make a video for it too. So yeah, I hope you learned something, and that's us for now. Ka kite.